When people talk about the Springboks, the conversation almost always starts with tactics. Some point to the famous bomb squad, others praise the kicking game, while many focus on defensive systems and set pieces. But what if all of those things are only part of the story? What if the real secret behind South Africa's success isn't written on a coach's tactics board at all? The greatest strength of this team is something much harder to measure. It's their mentality. It's their belief that no matter who stands in front of them, they will never back away from a physical battle. That belief has become the heartbeat of the green and gold jersey, and under Rassie Erasmus, it has grown into one of the most feared identities in world rugby. Every great rugby nation has its own style. New Zealand are famous for their attacking flair, France for their unpredictable brilliance, and Ireland for their precision. But when fans think about the Springboks, one image instantly comes to mind: relentless physicality. Every tackle is made with purpose, every carry is fought for, and every collision is treated like the most important moment of the match. This isn't just a tactic designed for one opponent. It's a promise that every player makes the moment he pulls on the South African jersey. The team knows that they might lose a lineout, miss a kick, or even have an off day in attack, but they refuse to let another team dominate them physically. That mentality was on full display during the 2023 Rugby World Cup. Throughout the tournament, the Springboks were tested again and again, but the pressure only seemed to make them stronger. The final against New Zealand became one of the toughest matches ever played on rugby's biggest stage. Every tackle felt like a final warning, every breakdown looked like a fight for survival, and every meter had to be earned. While the scoreboard remained incredibly close, South Africa never stopped believing. Players threw themselves into tackles as if the entire nation depended on every hit, proving once again that heart and determination can be just as valuable as brilliant attacking rugby. No player represented that fighting spirit better than Pieter-Steph du Toit. His work rate throughout the final became the perfect example of what the Springboks stand for. Time after time he shut down dangerous attacks, refusing to give powerful runners like Jordie Barrett any easy momentum. Around him, every South African player matched the same intensity. There were no passengers, no shortcuts, only complete commitment from the first whistle until the last. That relentless effort became one of the biggest reasons why the trophy returned to South Africa once again. The remarkable thing is that this wasn't an isolated performance. During the knockout stages of the tournament, South Africa survived 3 incredibly close battles against France, England, and New Zealand. Every match demanded something different. One required defensive discipline, another demanded patience, while the final tested every ounce of courage the squad possessed. Yet despite the different challenges, the result was always the same. The Springboks found a way to win because they never stopped competing when the pressure reached its highest point. Much of the credit belongs to Rassie Erasmus, whose influence goes far beyond tactics. He has built a culture where every player understands exactly what the jersey represents. It doesn't matter whether someone has played 1 test or 100. The expectations remain identical. Every player is expected to sacrifice for the team, fight for every collision, and trust the man standing beside him. That culture has allowed South Africa to introduce new players without losing the identity that has made them world champions. One of the biggest examples of that philosophy came when Rassie Erasmus rotated his squad heavily across an entire season. Many expected inconsistency, believing that changing so many players would weaken the team. Instead, the opposite happened. New faces stepped into the squad and performed with the same confidence and aggression as experienced internationals. The names on the team sheet changed, but the attitude never did. That consistency showed the world that the strength of the Springboks doesn't come from individuals alone. It comes from a shared identity that every player embraces. Even the best teams experience setbacks. There are days when passes don't stick, lineouts go wrong, or discipline becomes a problem. The Springboks have had those moments too, but what separates them from many other teams is the way they respond. They rarely allow one disappointing performance to define them. Instead, they treat setbacks as motivation, returning stronger, more determined, and even more physical the following week. That resilience has become one of the defining characteristics of South African rugby. The story of this team becomes even more powerful when you understand what it represents beyond the rugby field. South Africa is a nation filled with different cultures, backgrounds, and languages. Yet when the Springboks run onto the pitch, those differences become a source of strength rather than division. Players from completely different journeys wear the same jersey, sing the same anthem, and chase the same dream. That unity has inspired millions of supporters and turned the team into something far greater than a collection of talented athletes. Captain Siya Kolisi has often spoken about this responsibility. For him, wearing the Springbok jersey means representing every community across the country. His leadership reminds the squad that every victory brings hope to people watching from every corner of South Africa. That emotional connection creates a bond that opponents cannot easily understand, and it gives the team an extra level of determination whenever they step onto the field. Perhaps that's the greatest lesson of the modern Springboks. Championships are not won by tactics alone. Great game plans matter, talented players matter, and smart coaching certainly matters, but none of those things can replace belief. The greatest teams build an identity so powerful that every player protects it with everything they have. Under Rassie Erasmus, the Springboks have created exactly that kind of culture. They have become a team that refuses to surrender, refuses to panic, and refuses to stop fighting until the final whistle. That is why opponents never feel comfortable against South Africa, no matter what the scoreboard says. The real secret of the Springboks isn't hidden in their playbook. It's found in their heart, their unity, and their unwavering determination to stand together through every challenge. And as long as that spirit remains alive, South Africa will continue to be one of the most feared teams in world rugby.